and welcome to Darvanalee Design Studio. My name's Nicole Reid and today is Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Okay, so you can see here I've got my piece of fabric fully prepared, ready to go. We're going to talk a little bit about the ruler at the moment. So on this particular ruler, and I love this ruler because as you can see on dark fabrics you can really see it, and you can even still see it on the lighter fabrics as well. Okay, so it's a good versatile ruler. So basically on your ruler you have little notches. On this particular one it is in eighths, so it goes up in eighths. Some rulers might have 16ths and some of the OmniGrid rulers do have that. Okay, so what we're looking for today is 2 7/8. So here's our 2-inch mark, just here where that junction is. Make sure that that's focusing for you. And then you can see these little increments, one shorter than the other. Okay, so the short ones on this particular ruler are the eighth, and then the larger one is actually the quarter. Now we're looking for 7/8. So here's our 2, and then we're going to count across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and that little one there just before the 3 is the one that we're going to use. And then you can follow that down. And another reason I love this ruler is because I can line my squares up into this arrow here, and I know that this line, the bottom line of the fabric, has got to hit this point all the way along. And you can see that I use this ruler quite a bit, and where I pick it up all the time the little mark has come off that. But I'm okay because I've got the other marks along here, and I know that this is on the 7/8 of the inch. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking for on your rulers. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of cuts and explain a few things to go. So this one here, you can see, I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but it's not quite straight down this bottom line. It's not quite hitting all the marks. It's actually kicked up a little bit here. So I want to make that more accurate than what it is. So I'm actually going to cut that at the 3-inch. I'm going to line it up the best that I can on the 3-inch. It's a little bit wonky. So I'm going to cut that 3-inch square. And now I have 2 nice cut edges. So I'll spin that. And then I find my 2, and then I count my 7, and I line it up there. My little corner down here is lining up in there, and it's hitting all the marks it needs to across here, so I know that I'm ready to go. So I can now trim that little bit off, and I've got my 2 7/8 square. Now if you've got a piece of fabric and it's a little bit wonky, so you can see here this is almost straight, but if I line that up on my mat, you can see there that it kicks out away from that inch line there. So if I wanted to straighten that, I'd get a larger ruler, which I have here. I'll just cut this bit off down the bottom here. I'll put that aside into my scrap thing, because you can use those little pieces for little squares and whatnot. You'll be able to get a couple of 1 1/4 out of it. So what I do in this case is it's not completely straight here, and I want to get a straight edge, and it's not so straight down here either. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to line my 1/2 inch mark on my ruler on the line. I don't know if you can see that there. I'll just move that fabric up a bit. So you can see here I've lined the edge of the fabric against the straight line, okay, on the mat just here. And then I've got my 1/2 inch mark. Actually, I can go 1/4 inch on this one. 1/4 inch mark on my ruler, which is a solid line, and matched it up with the solid line on my mat. Okay, so I know that that's going to be straight now, because I know my straightest edge is hard up against that mark on my mat, and now my ruler is on that mark on the mat, and I've followed that all the way up where the fabric starts to kick out, you can see. And I'm just going to trim this up, and then I slowly release the pressure off my ruler and slide it up, okay, without moving my fingers. So you've seen that, I just slid it up, and then I continue the cut. I don't move anything, although the camera did move just then. Okay, so now I've got a nice straight edge, And basically now what I want to do is get this edge over here straight as well. So I turn it, and again I line my straightest edge up, and you can see this time it's kicking this way. So what I do again, I get my 1/4 inch mark and I line my ruler up, and in this case it's a shorter edge, so I don't actually have to move the ruler. So I make sure the bottom of my ruler is lining up on a straight edge, so I know my ruler is straight now. And that 1/4 inch mark is on, you can see there, it is on that yellow line. And now I know that I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch off, and it's off. And now you can see there I've got a perfect right angle. So then you can just come along and line up your 2 7/8, so that's that little mark just before the 3 inch mark, and you can just cut. You can cut. Now, before anybody says, oh, why would you do that? Wouldn't it be better just to cut a strip? Today, this is just a demo of how to cut and where to find the marks on your ruler. Yes, by all means, cut a strip and then cross cut it. That's okay. But this is just demonstration purposes only. And I do cut that way. But for the beginners that don't really feel comfortable, I thought I'd do it, break it down and just do it this way. And then that way you can just continue cutting your 2 7/8 squares. And yes, it is going to take a little bit longer than just cutting a strip. I agree. And there you go. And then you can put them on your design board as you go and lay the block out, or lay all your pieces out that you've got to, and you would have seen that in the YouTube video. I just laid out all the cuts, so I had A, B, C, D, and then I put all the appropriate fabrics next to that letter, and then I knew that they were the pieces that I need. So you can keep cutting. Just make sure that you do press, and that way you will be able to get a perfect cut every time, and your piecing will be a little bit more accurate if you've been having trouble. So I hope you enjoyed that little cutting tutorial. Okay, so that's our little tip for today. I hope you really enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, give us a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell beside it. And as always, we love to hear from you, so leave a comment below. And anything that you've made off our channel, be sure to share it over in our Facebook group. Have a great day, everybody. My name's Nicole Reid for Darvanalee Design Studio, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.